So earlier today, I decided to get a few speedruns in, or speedrun attempts I should say, and I noticed something. It had been a while. I'd been mostly focused on other projects and making YouTube videos, but I just had a string of bad luck. World after world, I just kept restarting, and eventually I got not a very good spawn, but one that I felt I could realistically get a decent run, at least a sub 30 on. And so I spawn in, I start looking around, and I just see water, and I'm like, okay, might as well quit this world. I see gravel, so I grab it, and I'm pretty quick to dismiss this world because it's not a very good spawn. There's no village. It's definitely not going to be sub 20, which is what I'm trying to go for. But instead, I just go with it. I see that there's a lava pool. I'm like, okay, you know, maybe I can go and smelt some iron and I'll be able to get into the nether in under 5 minutes, which would be ideal, especially if you're going for sub 20. And I'm like, okay, sub 20 is possible. We're gonna see what's happening here. But if that's gonna happen, I need food, I need iron, and I also need to smelt the iron, as well as cook the food, since I'm gonna have to get it from the mobs that are nearby. So that means that I am going to be sitting here mining a lot. And I mean a lot. And this is the thing. This run, had I gotten a really good nether spawn, could have been sub 25. Or less than 25 minutes. But I did not get that luck by any means. And so this is why I wanted to just talk about what it's like to be a Minecraft speedrunner. I've speedrun a bunch of different games, and Minecraft is pure RNG. Even that gravel that I grabbed, I have to break over and over later in this video just to try to get a flint. Even that's RNG. I could have had to break it once or 10 times. It varies completely. And so being a Minecraft speedrunner, it becomes really difficult to do well, especially when most of the runs are completed by people who just run time after time to get as much as they can. And for them, they run hundreds of attempts and have pretty good luck. And luck is a really big part of it. I had a few lucky runs earlier in the day, but none of them turned out well with good nether fortress spawns. And this one, I just decided to go with because I'm like, okay, this is a different style of run from what I'm used to. I usually go straight to a village and go from there, but this is realistic. And so I'm going and I'm smelting food, looking to see if I can find iron. And I look for iron for ages. Now, again, I'm like, you know, good practice. Maybe I get a world like this again. Maybe I can do pretty well. But I'm just like, alright. I don't see any iron. Check another cave. I'm still looking for iron at this point. I see a baby zombie and I'm like, alright, not dealing with you. I need to go find iron. And so I eventually just think, alright, you know what, I might as well dig downward and see what I can get while the venison cooks. And here's the thing, this world could have actually been really good. I'll admit, had I had exposed iron nearby, I could have done really well in this world. Except for one reason. And that's once we hit the nether. And so I'm gonna skip forward to that real quick. Now that we reach the nether, you're gonna quickly see a pretty big fault that happens. One, my PC lags, and so I have a few unloaded chunks for a second there. That's normal and nothing crazy. But immediately after I arrive, I begin looking for a fortress, try to go to an open area, move on top of the trees to see if I can find any remnants of a fortress nearby. And so my initial thought is, oh, I'm going to stick to the edges, try to stay closer to the lava because it'll be easier to see the fortress if it's out on the lava, and it's less likely for there to be a fortress in a highly blocked off and occupied space. And so I just stick to the edge and I start going along here looking for any signs of another fortress, and there really is none. I break these and try to just keep moving and just try to get as much momentum as I can to move in this direction. Because of the biome I'm in, it's really difficult for me to really move at all. And eventually I decide, because I'm going so far away from my portal, I'm going to circle back and see if there's any possibility that it's the other direction and the other way alongside the lava, just to try to get a good spawn. And I do turn down my render distance just because my frame rate decided to slow down a lot, and I'm sitting here as I am going through this whole thing and I'm like, okay, another bad spawn. And this is just what plagues Minecraft speedrunners. This is my 30th attempt today, and I have had 2 good nether fortress spawns and 2 successful runs is what I'm gonna say. And when I say successful, I mean I completed the game in under 30 minutes, which is pretty commendable, but also definitely not near where my record usually is. And so it's very frustrating because the entirety of Minecraft speedruns is RNG, which makes it really fun, but also makes it really difficult and challenging to get good PB, or sometimes you'll never get another PB after you get one incredible run because luck just isn't on your side after that. And that's what makes being a Minecraft speedrunner really difficult. You kind of have to roll with the punches and deal with the fact of, if you get a run, like my personal best is around 22 minutes. If I get that run, I have to deal with the fact that I might not ever be able to replicate it. And I might not ever be able to get a run within that same amount of time. Now, the challenge with that is, for every other game that I've ever speedrun, it is almost entirely skill-based and minimal RNG. Or if there is RNG, it usually is not enough to kill a run. Whereas Minecraft, the easiest way to describe it is that you are trying to knock down a brick wall with your fist. It doesn't really work out well, and you might start to get a hole and then you just realize it's too thick for you to get through. And usually that's because of how the nether spawns. You might have a perfect overworld spawn, get a village, get a bunch of beds, kill the iron golem, get good RNG off the iron golem, and then the second you hit the nether, you get something like this, where you're trying to jump through soul sand to see if you have any indication of where anything really is. And if you can get another fortress, or maybe a bastion to get gold, or if you can even just find some piglins to trade with. And as you can see at this point, by the time I reached here, I was about 20 minutes into my run, and I was like, alright, you know, I'm nowhere close to finding it, and it wasn't a great overworld spawn, so I just stop, and I exit out. And I reset to do another run. But since we're here, I wanted to quickly talk about the big issue with this. And this is an issue that's come up recently in a large scandal that I'm not gonna go into depth. I have a different video going into depth on everything about that that's coming out next week. And that's the piglins. So, because of my frustration, because I could not get any ender pearls aside from in 2 runs from piglins, I wanted to just quickly test how my luck was in creative mode at getting ender pearls with a stack of gold. And I'm speeding this up, but essentially I go through the entire stack and get 6 ender pearls, which is pretty standard. That would be about right as far as the trades go, since it's a 5% odds. But the thing is, I'm sitting here and I'm very frustrated because I can't seem to get good luck. I probably traded well over 100 gold in the span of my 3 good runs, and a lot of the time I was sitting there trying to grab more while they're trading, and I either had incredible luck or the run was dead and I just saved and quit the game. And so it's just incredible that this is speedrunnable, both in my mind and I think in a lot of other people's mind. And this is just so frustrating because so much of it's RNG. If the iron golem doesn't drop enough iron, the run could be dead. If the piglins don't drop ender pearls, the run could be dead. If the blazes don't drop enough blaze rods, the run could be dead and you spend too much time there. It's just so unbelievably frustrating to try to go through all these runs and have no luck like that. But that's the life of a speedrunner. I've speedrun SMO, I've speedrun Hollow Knight, but none of those games have any RNG close to Minecraft. And it's difficult, it's frustrating, but I love it. And I would not ever stop speedrunning Minecraft if I ever even thought about it.